So what are we talking about? We're talking about Sword Art Online 2, Season 2, GGO, Alfheim, whatever. So we're talking about Sword Art Online 2. And I'll be honest, I was caught up in the hype. I heard Sword Art Online 2 was coming out, and I was like, awesome! It's true, I was. Suck it. Half of you were too. Sword Art Online, I think, was pretty good. And if you remember, was a bunch of people, including your main character, Kirito, getting trapped in a virtual death game that kind of turned into a teen romance harem, which I was okay with. But now it's Season 2, and you're getting Gun Gale Online, GGO, and you're going to get guns, and it's going to be badass, and then you get like 2-3 episodes of him in a cave with a girl just talking. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Don't get me wrong, it makes up for it, but the stretch with him in the cave, yeah, that was kind of long. You could have done that in half an episode. One whole episode. 3? Come on! 2.5? Easy! Jeez! At one point I'm sitting there going, are they still in this cave? Shit! I'm gonna be Death Gun. Get out of your cave and face me! You know what you do have to roll with in Season 2? Girl Kirito. Yeah, that's real. Still a boy, but not. It's weird. He's got special cool stats, but for some reason his GGO avatar is like randomly generated and totally looks like black-haired Asuna. He has to solve the mystery of Death Gun. The GGO storyline, to me, that is my favorite part of Season 2, is the GGO part. It is nice that they kind of go into the different games and how the different games work, and the fact that if you're good enough and spend enough time in GGO, you can totally make actual money, which is kind of awesome. Remember in my other video where I said this guy was up to something? I was half right, so yay. But he's like crazy. He's just screaming at her with his crazy face. He's all on top of her going, Asuna! 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 Screaming meat. I thought this dude was totally gonna rape her. And then possibly still kill her. There's the GGO part. There's the complete Alfheim group with Sinon in it, and then, you know, everybody else from Season 1 is there with her, and now you get like a little side story, and it's alright. It's kind of nice. It's kind of dumb, but it's kind of nice. It's alright. And then you get it some more with Asuna, but you also get real-life Asuna, which is something you didn't get any of in Season 1. You got to see Asuna deal with real shit. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Deal with it. There's the Yuki storyline that has to do more with Asuna, and Asuna going on this quest with Yuki and her little group, but also Asuna dealing with her actual life, because it was kind of nice to see. You kind of get a little annoyed at real life Asuna. You saw the first season, you saw Death Game Asuna, and Death Game Asuna was second in command of the Crimson Knights. She's like the second best person in the game. She's for real. And then you get to see her at home, and she's like a totally different person, and she's having this rough time adjusting or being both. Identity crises. Everyone's trying to cobble together who they are now. At least everybody who was in SAO. Everyone who's a SAO survivor. You get to see a side of Kirito and Asuna that you didn't really see in Season 1 because they just didn't really talk about it. I'm talking about when they raided the Laughing Coffin Guild. I don't know why they just didn't talk about it, but no, seriously, that was some heavy shit. You're like, whoa. Yeah, and now he's like dealing with it. You know, everyone comes out of there kind of has PTSD. Everyone has PTSD, but for different reasons. The programmer fishing guy, he was just a fisherman. He probably had it because he had almost ideal, perfect life, and now he has to come out, and now it's, you know, reality again, and reality blows. Whereas Kirito and Asuna have to deal with the battles and the lives that they, you know, help take. Kirito is dead set on integrating the real world and the virtual world like seamlessly any way he can. I'm still iffy. People are still dying. And according to Death Gun, this shit's gonna keep happening. So I'm just saying. Call me old school. At least I'm not dying. Rage quitting maybe, but not dying. Fuck you! No, I'm just kidding. I felt pretty satisfied with Sword Art Online 2. There's a lot less Sugu, so I appreciated that. There's enough action. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first chunk. The middle chunk was okay. It was a nice little thing you got to watch. You get to see Klein be desperate and stupid, and that's always fun. And then you get to see the Asuna part. And the Asuna part, I would argue, is probably the most interesting, because, you know, you get to see all this stuff with Asuna, the character you almost have no knowledge of outside of the game. Almost. Every once in a while you saw her at the hospital, and that was about it. But still, the GGO part, yeah, that part's badass. That's badass, even though he's a stupid little girl. He shows up everybody with his mad lightsaber skills. That's right, it's a lightsaber. It is. It's a fucking lightsaber. I was looking forward to it, and overall, I enjoyed it. It suffered from some of the same things that the first season suffered from, so I guess that's kind of a good thing. I mean, at least they didn't try something new and totally fuck it up, so that's kind of good. But the fact that they didn't quite learn from all their mistakes is kind of, I was like, alright, they're still doing some of the same stupid shit. But there is something to be said about consistency. Consistency. At least it's the same consistent bullshit. It's not new bullshit. It's the same, so you can roll with it. The animation is still pretty good. It's pretty much the same animation. Yeah, the animation style is good. The animation itself is pretty good. When it's action, it's action. Most of the time they don't do a lot of action, though. It's a lot of talking. It really is. A lot of sitting around the virtual table with elf ears discussing homework. Because it is. If you have access to like the whole thing and you want to binge watch it, I think it would be pretty interesting to binge watch. Don't forget, there's the extra edition movie that goes right in between. Don't forget about that. Voice acting's still good. The music's pretty good. I enjoyed the music. The music was nice. That first song was pretty good. Yeah, the second song. And the ending song. Yeah, whatever. My official rating and my unofficial rating system, some of you aren't going to like this, but I'm going to say watch-worthy. Check it out. Don't buy it. Honestly, if they just sold the Gun Gale Online portion, I would probably just buy that. This is Aniview by Dave. I, of course, am Dave. If you have any questions, comments, confusions, suggestions, put them below and I will get back to you. See you next time. They meet this NPC who's locked up, and they help her out, and Klein is like constantly trying to hit on her, even though she's an NPC and there's no points, and he's a loser. And there's all these girls around, but he's not even bothering with them, even though one of them is totally Kirito's sister, cousin, sister, whatever. It's weird enough. Go for that one. What's the matter with you? No, he's hitting on this NPC, and then the NPC turns into Thor. Not girl Thor, like Marvel, like Thor. Everyone kind of, you know, feels sorry for him. And yes, if you guessed Asuna's little friend was dying of AIDS, you're fucked up and right. You sick bastards. Mother's Rosario. I'm dying of AIDS. Cha 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 cha.